Hey guys again, welcome back to my channel. I'm Minh Le here, and welcome to another speedrun game on my speedrun account. So, as you can see here, I am 10:35 in rapid. We will play one game of 10.0 and we'll try and explain all the things in the game and teach you some lessons after the game finish. I hope that this game is gonna be good and you guys can find it instructive. And also feel free to give me some feedbacks and all the ideas you guys want after the game, right? So don't let you guys wait for so long. Let's start right away. What's white here? This time, as people want, I play e4. e5. Okay, so Nf3. d6. Obviously, if they play nice, I can play c3 or c4, which e5, depends if you guys want. I think I may play pawn Ziani, as I have a viewer who begged for the line, But now they play d6. So here, this is confidor. Normally, this one is very passive. When the bishop here is blocked, right? But it's also known to be super solid and something that, you can definitely play for black. So here, what I'm trying to recommend for you guys to play is to play d4 instantly. You got a strong center and you can be able to get some space for your pieces, right? Queen e7. This one is obviously a wrong choice. The main line is like e4, d4, you can play like here, but we'll mention that later on. Queen e7. So the queen here, I think, is not in a very good place. It blocked the way of bishop, right? Also, the queen here can be chased away easily as well. So that's why that's c3. Just keep developing. He may play like here or here to defend my ideas. a6. This one is already very bad. In fact, so I can win a pawn right away, with knight d5. But I think I will do that for sure, knight d5. Attacking the queen and the pawn here, right? So I must play queen d7 or queen d8 to defend the pawn here on c7, after which the pawn e5 become hanging, right? I can take it for as well too. Okay, so this is the second week in a row that my opponent fought for this triple fork. Oh my gosh. So now you can see, right? After something wrong in the opening, I win the game right away. Let's kill the queen right away, right? King e6. His king now is being damn weak, and obviously it is a thing when trying to attack. So you can play plenty of things right now. Knight g5, c4, also fine. But I will try and go for the most, oops, he resigned. He resigned here. I will mention on the thing I want to do later on. After the game, after I try and go to the game. The game is super short. Damn. 7 moves. Oh my goodness me. That is much shorter than I expect. So, I'm very sorry. This game, I think it may not be count like this game. We can play one more game. But before that, I think it should be good for me to explain the things a little bit, right? In the games. So, here we'll play the line of e4, e5, right? Knight 3, d6, d4. So first, I want to mention with you about the main line of this variation. Here, black has 2 ways to play. First one is pretty solid but playable. This is 97, bishop c4, this one, right? And here I play this. And now at least I think the Hanham variation of the Philidor. I think this one was played by Burnik and some stronger players. Other line is also this one, e4 and knight f6. c3, bishop e7, here and here, and black is kind of solid. He can play like knight here, which is also fine, or knight d7, or a6, or with. Normally, black is very solid, but he's passive as well. In the game, he played Queen E7, which is not a precise move, as I mentioned earlier, right? Somehow, so the queen here really prevent him from developing easily, and it can also be a target as well. In the game, you see that, right? So, knight c3, I play here, knight c3. At this point, he already need to understand, like, what am I threatening, right? This is the kind of mindset that I think that we should always do, even in the early level. Like, this is the thing you want to do, right? That's why you can play like here or here. I mean, objectively speaking, so it leads to something not so fun, guys. But he is still not that much worse. But we play here, you see, right? And that one is very annoying. Very annoying here. Then it's very simple, right? The only two ways to play here to defend the pawn on c7, just leads to the pawn being captured, right? And we are being pawned up. Objectively speaking, so black can still play like here, for instance, you know, trying to hang on the game. I can play like queen h5 or queen f3, or even go here to just get to the winning endgame, but the game will not finish yet. But in the game here, he played queen a6, you know. So here, and suddenly I got the royal fork. And with the queen, in the game he resigned right away. But here's a question I want to ask you guys a little bit. I can tell that every way he'll win, including rook g1, you know, or even here it's winning on the spot. But still, if you're white here, what do you want here to convert it in the smoothest way? There will be plenty of ways to play here, in fact. I think like the easiest way here, you know, is just to play like bishop c4, as people here recommended, and you like castles, right? And you just like get your king to safety, and you develop with tempo. For me here, so what I can realize is that the king here is so weakened, right? Weakened. So I wanted to take action instantly if I am white here. In the game, I am thinking about d5. This is what I will play if the game continues. So I look at his king, I know that can be a target, right? So I open up the way for my queen to get to the game, isn't it? Yes. So here it starts to be not easy to want to play the moves. d5 here is not a good move here since I got queen d8, which I think is insanely annoying. Somehow my queen invests in his position, right? And now it creates a lot of mating ideas. The king is weak, and I can even win material next, right? And he can resign very soon. So my queen get entry to the black's count, right? I think black can play like knight here, for instance, which is the way to defend. I can play bishop g5 with a mid, or I can go here, for instance, as well, right? And then I can win some more pawns, which is very useful, isn't it? But that somehow I don't need to do that. My opponent resigns so early, after falling for the fork. So in general, one thing I can teach from this very short game is that you guys don't want to play, develop the queen early on again as well, right? In a game. Also, obviously it should be good to know openings, but I think it's not easy at this level. We just skip that. The last thing I want to say here is that you want to be careful in your opponent's tricks. Here my opponent missed knight d5, which I think is somewhat understandable. But here he missed c7, which is unforgivable, right? Whatever it is, this one should be played. Here or here should be much more better, right? Then the game can still happens. For instance, he can still play here, touch, right? And he can still try to trick me with this move, c6. For instance, guys, if you guys are to run the knight on d5, now where can the knight on d5 can run? Where can your knight on d5 now can run? This is actually a pretty, I think, tricky question. I must admit that. Here, the thing is simple. Even when you're winning, you must be still a bit alerted about your opponent's ideas. The reason is that knight to f4 or e3 both allow queen a5. And now the table's turn. Let's see, right? All of a sudden, you lose your knight. Whenever you see that this down is open, this thing will always be a trouble. Be careful about that. That's why knight c3 is correct. You avoid your own troubles, right? And you can now think about converting a pawn up. Isn't it? Although the engine here believes that the best way to play things like queen h5, you know? You went for the attack instantly, which is, I think, pretty useful as well. But not needed. You can say that. So, short games, right? Hopefully you enjoyed the game. Hopefully the game is pretty short here, which is unexpected. Hopefully you can still learn something from the game. And I'm so sorry, my opponent, for the quick loss. Okay, so see you in next videos, and goodbye.